Have you ever dropped into your favorite chair after a long, exhausting day, just wanting a moment to breathe, when your dog quietly walks over, lowers their head, and starts licking your feet? At first you might chuckle. Maybe you think, well, that's odd. But then another thought creeps in. Why your feet? Is it love, comfort? Or could it be something deeper? Maybe even a quiet cry for help? For those of us who've loved dogs for decades, every little gesture feels like a clue. And sometimes those clues lead to answers we never expected. So let's begin not just with what foot licking looks like, but with where it comes from, because once you know, you may never see it the same way again. Behavior 1. Licking your feet. You've probably felt it before, that warm, ticklish sensation on your toes, and when you look down there, they are. Eyes, soft tail, maybe wagging tongue, working like they're polishing silver. Why your feet of all places? Not your hands, not your face, but the part of you that just walked across the kitchen floor. According to researchers at the University of Tokyo, dogs are naturally drawn to the salty taste from sweat glands, especially around your feet. To them, that taste isn't just sweat. It's a chemical signature that says, you've been somewhere, you've done something, and I'm part of your story. But here's the thing most people miss. Licking your feet can be your dog's way of calming themselves, the same way a child hugs a worn, stuffed animal. If you've been away for hours, or even just distracted in another room, this is their quiet way of pulling you back into their world. And if you've ever lost a dog you loved deeply, you know how much those small moments matter. So what do you do when it happens? You could laugh, you could let it happen. Or if it makes you uncomfortable, you could gently redirect them with a chew or toy that still smells like you. But whatever you choose, don't punish them for it. To them, it's not just a habit, it's connection. And that connection, it doesn't stop at licking. Sometimes it shows up in the smallest touch, a single paw placed right on you. But is that always love? Or could it be something else entirely? Behavior 2. Placing a paw on you. You've probably felt it before. You're sitting quietly, maybe reading or watching TV, and suddenly there's a gentle weight on your leg. You glance down, and there's your dog's paw resting on you like it belongs there. Sometimes it's soft and calm, other times there's a little scratch, as if they're saying, "Hey, notice me." At first it feels sweet, even flattering. But have you ever wondered what it actually means when they do that? In confident, relaxed dogs, it can be the canine version of holding hands, a gesture that says, "We're connected, you and I." But in other moments, especially when you see those anxious eyes, the ears slightly drooped, maybe even a tucked tail, it's something else. It's their way of saying, "I'm not sure. I need reassurance. Please, don't leave." For older rescues, or dogs who've been through loss, that paw can carry a whole history of moments when they felt alone. And here's where it gets tricky. If your dog uses that paw every time you shift your attention away, it might be less about affection and more about insecurity. So the question is, do you comfort them in that moment, or do you gently teach them they're safe even when you're not looking? The answer depends on what you see in their body language and in your heart. And just like that paw, some gestures look simple, but hide layers of meaning. Take the way a dog suddenly flops onto their back in front of you. Is it always an open invitation, or could it sometimes be a sign you've completely misunderstood? Behavior 3. Rolling onto their back. You've seen it 100 times. Your dog looks at you, drops to the floor, and rolls onto their back like they're saying, "Come on, give me a belly rub." And most of the time you do, because how can you resist? But here's the thing. Are you sure that's always what they're asking for? In the dog world, showing the belly is one of the most vulnerable positions they can take. Among other dogs, it's often a sign of submission, a way of saying, I mean, no harm. Around you, it can be trust a level of comfort. They don't give just anyone. But sometimes, especially during play, that belly-up moment is a tactic. They might spring back up and race around the room, daring you to chase them. So how do you know which is which? Look at the rest of their body. Is the tail relaxed? The mouth soft? The eyes calm? That's trust. Are they stiff eyes, darting muscles tense? That might be appeasement or uncertainty, and maybe they don't want to be touched just then. The more you pay attention, the more you realize every move they make is part of a bigger language. And some of the most misunderstood signs happen when they're not even looking at you, but instead they're digging at your carpet like they've lost something under there. What are they really looking for? Behavior 4. Scratching the carpet. You've probably walked into the room and caught your dog in the act pause, raking at the carpet like they're trying to dig a hole to the other side of the world. You might even shout their name half annoyed because you just bought that rug. But before you get too frustrated, have you ever stopped to wonder why they do it? For dogs, that scratching goes way back to their ancestors. In the wild, they dug at the earth to make a safe, comfortable bed, to hide their scent, or to uncover something they needed. In your living room, the carpet is just the closest thing they have to dirt. Sometimes it's a comfort ritual, a way to wind down before they rest. Other times, it's a release for pent-up energy, or even anxiety they don't know how else to let out. If you've got a working breed like a cattle dog or shepherd mix, this instinct can be even stronger. They're wired to be busy, and without an outlet, your rug becomes their project. So what can you do? Give them a designated spot, a bed with blankets they can rearrange, or an engaging toy that makes their brain work. And here's the thing, once you start watching closely, you see a pattern. When they scratch, they're not just making a mess. They're making a space that smells like them, feels like theirs. Which is exactly why sometimes you find them curled up on something else that smells like you. Why would your clothes be their chosen bed over the plush dog bed you bought? Behavior 5. Sleeping on your clothes. You've seen it. You toss your jacket over the chair, or maybe leave a shirt on the bed, and a little later you find your dog curled up right on top of it. Not beside it, not near it, but right in the middle, like they've claimed it as their own. You might smile and think it's because it's soft, but have you ever wondered if there's something more to it? For your dog, your scent is home. Their nose can pick up layers of your smell, where you've been, what you've touched, even your mood. When they curl up on your clothes, they're wrapping themselves in you. It's comfort when you're away, reassurance when the house feels empty. For a dog who's been through loss or long hours alone, that scent is like a lifeline. Sure, you can shoo them off if you don't want hair on your clothes, but if you knew how much it means, you might leave something out on purpose. That old sweatshirt. To them, it's as good as a warm hug. And here's where it gets fascinating. Dogs don't just show comfort through touch and smell. Sometimes their messages are so small, you could miss them if you're not paying attention, like a quick lick of the lips or an unexpected yawn. Have you ever seen your dog do that? When they're not even hungry or tired. Behavior 6. Lip licking or yawning. Unprompted. You've probably seen it, your dog sitting quietly, no food in sight, no nap in progress. And suddenly, they lick their lips or let out a slow yawn. You might think nothing of it, but what if I told you? Those tiny gestures can be some of the clearest signals they ever give you. In the dog world, licking lips and yawning aren't always about hunger or sleep. More often, they're self-soothing behaviors, a way to calm themselves when something feels a little off. Maybe voices got louder in the room. Maybe a stranger stepped a bit too close. Or maybe they picked up on your stress before you even realized you were tense. Dogs can't turn to you and say, "I'm a little uncomfortable right now." Instead, they give you these whispers, subtle, fleeting, easy to miss. And here's the part that hits home if you notice it and respond with a calm tone or gentle reassurance. You're telling them, "I see you. You're safe." Over time, that builds a trust they'll carry for life. But not all the signals are so subtle. Sometimes the message comes in what you don't see, like the moment they look away from you on purpose. Is that rejection, or are they actually trying to protect the bond you share? Behavior 7. Avoiding eye contact. You're sitting there, maybe trying to catch your dog's eye. And instead of looking back at you, they glance away. Maybe they even turn their head. If you've ever thought, "Are they mad at me? Did I do something wrong?" You're not alone. But here's the twist. It's usually not anger at all. In the canine world, direct eye contact can be a challenge, even a threat. When your dog chooses to look away, it can be their way of keeping the peace, of saying, "I'm not here to fight." If they've been punished in the past or startled by a sharp voice, that glance away might actually be an apology you didn't know they were giving. And if you've ever carried the weight of losing a dog you loved, you know how much those silent moments can mean, because they're still talking to you just without words. When you respond with soft eyes and a calm voice, you're telling them, "I'm with you no matter what." And that message sticks. But some dogs don't just look away, they keep their eyes on you so much that they follow you from room to room, never letting you out of sight. Is that devotion? Or a sign of something they can't tell you any other way? Behavior 8. Following you everywhere. You stand up to get a glass of water, and there they are. You head to the bathroom, they're right behind you. You go to grab the mail, and somehow they're already at the door waiting. You might laugh and say, "My dog's obsessed with me." But have you ever wondered why they really do it? Dogs are pack animals at their core, and in their world, you're the whole pack. Your movements set the rhythm of their day. When they shadow you like this, it's not just curiosity, it's safety. They know that where you are, things feel right. And if your life has had recent changes, a move, new people in the house, even times when you've been sick or sad, that closeness can intensify. They can sense when you need them, and they answer without hesitation. But here's the thing. While it feels good to be loved, like that constant following can sometimes be a sign of separation. Anxiety brewing beneath the surface. It's worth asking yourself, are they following because they want to, or because they're afraid of what happens when you're gone? And sometimes the answer comes at night when the house is quiet, you've just closed your eyes, and they start barking into the darkness. What are they trying to tell you when the rest of the world is asleep? Behavior 9. Barking at night. It's late, the lights are out, and you've just started to drift off when you hear it. Your dog barking into the quiet. You get up, check the windows, the yard, the doors. Nothing. No strangers. No odd sounds. Just them standing there, ears alert, eyes searching for you. And the moment you step into the room, the barking stops. Ever wonder why? For some dogs, nighttime silence can be the loudest thing they hear. During the day, they can see you, hear you moving, catch your scent in the air. But at night, when everything slows down and you disappear behind a closed door, they can feel suddenly alone. That barking isn't always about danger. It's often a roll call, a way of asking, "Are you still there?" Older rescues, dogs who've known loss, or those who stick to you like glue in the daytime, are often the ones who call out after dark. And here's where you can make a difference. Sometimes leaving a shirt you wore during the day in their bed, or playing soft, low music, can be enough to quiet that worry. Because for them, it's not about noise, it's about knowing their person is close. And when you start to see all these moments, every lick, every paw, every glance away, not as random quirks, but as pieces of a language, you realize something. They've been talking to you all along. The only question left is, are you ready to answer back? From that first quiet lick on your feet to the bark that breaks the night, every gesture your dog makes is a message. Some are shouts of joy, others are whispers for comfort, but all of them are threads in the bond you share. And when you start to notice them, when you answer those signals with understanding, instead of guessing, you give your dog the one thing they want most, you. We don't always get as much time with them as we wish. That's why every touch, every look, every little habit matters. If you've loved and lost a dog before, you know the ache of wishing you'd paid closer attention. You can't go back, but you can start now. If you want to keep learning how to read your dog's heart as clearly as their eyes stick around, subscribe so we can keep uncovering these secrets together. Because your dog is talking to you every single day. And I promise, once you learn to listen, you'll never look at them the same way again.